And this is the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast, Season 2, Episode 17, Week 10. I am your host and co-host, Tyler Belosky.
This is your co-host and host, Eli Belosky.
Yeah, father and son doing it again. We're back. Eli, Week 10 of the regular NFL season, and we're right around the corner for your fantasy football playoffs.
Yeah, only 3 weeks left to redeem yourselves, guys, if you're losing.
Yeah, most likely. Most of them start up Week 14. Yeah, most start Week 14, and so yeah, we're right around the corner. We're in that time of getting ready for those playoffs, and some of our teams are looking good. Some of our teams aren't, but you know what? Even the experts do good. Some of the experts do bad. So, Eli, this year we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we'll try and finish strong. In a couple of our leagues, we have to win out in one of them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, we have to win out. We have to get some help in those wins out. I was actually looking at the schedule coming up, and we are pretty favored in all of them. And the people in front of us are playing each other, so hopefully
That's good. That's good.
And some of them are playing some of the top 2 or 3 teams. So hopefully, if they can lose to them, we can bump ourselves up and get into that 5th and 6th spots to make those playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our Fantasy Football Tips podcast. And before we get started, I want to thank you for listening. We want to thank our partners this year, DraftKingsSleepers.com. They were teaming up with them for the remainder of this year, most likely next year. They're a great website, guys. It's a social network for fantasy football, sports, and any fantasy sports really. Fantasy hockey, basketball, and baseball. DraftKingsSleepers.com. It's awesome. You guys can go and ask questions. We put our podcast there. You can put polls up. You can put other podcasts up. Make sure you listen to ours, though. But DraftKingsSleepers.com, the social network for our fantasy sports. And tonight we got 3 questions we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, Eli, our podcast is getting a lot of hits off of here, and we're getting a lot of questions off of this website.
Yeah, we've gotten at least 2 questions steady for a while now.
Yeah, and a lot of repeat people, too. And we're seeing one of those guys tonight. And we love DraftKings Sleepers. We team up with them. You can find them on Twitter as DraftKings Sleepers, so go ahead and look them up. Let's get into our 9s, Eli. This is our main event usually. It's our news, injuries, notes, emails, and stats. And actually, we do have a stat for you this week.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, why don't you give us our first... that's presented by Pristine Auction, another amazing website. PristineAuction.com. Guys, if you're looking for sports memorabilia signed by your favorite players like Juju Smith-Schuster or Bo Jackson or Tom Brady, helmets and basketballs and footballs and baseballs and bats and jerseys and LeBron James and Steph Curry, this is the place to go. It's 100% authentic, and it's free to sign up when you do mention our podcast, the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. Free to sign up, free to bid, and if you lose, you don't pay anything, Eli.
Yeah, that's really good because
we bid all the time.
Yeah. And most of the other sites that you do have to pay if you lose, so it's a lot more gambling.
Yeah, and we actually were looking up a Juju Smith-Schuster jersey, and Eli, we found one. But and here's the thing: the cool thing is they're cheap. We found one that sold for $65. You can't even buy an NFL jersey for $65, let alone with one with an autograph.
Yeah.
So I found a Bo Jackson signed helmet for like $89. That's awesome. That's amazing. Full-size helmet, too.
Oh, so, full size? That's
full
even
size,
better.
yeah. So get to PristineAuction.com and get going on your bidding and get that sports memorabilia to deck out that man cave of yours.
Yeah.
Or your boy cave, I guess, for you.
Yeah.
All right, so Eli, what's our first 9?
The first 9 is Zeke. His 6-game suspension is confirmed.
Finally.
So he's only going to be playing Week 17, and even then he's only going to be playing like the first quarter, so you can just drop him.
I would go ahead and drop him because
he's not going to do anything.
He's not doing anything sitting on your bench. Drop him, unless you have your championship Week 17. But, I say go ahead and drop him. I did see, however, he may be only suspended for 4 games, but for right now, I'd say go ahead and drop him. I mean, unless you want to keep him, it's definitely if you have a dynasty league. But
dynasty leagues keep him.
Yeah, because you're going to have him for next year.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
Number 2,
Mike. Time out, actually, before we get to that. So that means you want to pick up Alfred Morris.
DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray.
Well, yeah, for the Titans, but
but,
Alfred Morris and Darren McFadden.
Oh yeah, Darren
And
McFadden.
something like Rod Smith, I think it is, or Rod Smart, or the third string running back who actually will probably get a lot of snaps tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Pick those guys up.
Yeah. Number 2, Mike Evans suspended for 1 game for fighting. There are a couple fights last week. There's AJ Green and Jalen Ramsey, and then the Mike Evans shove.
Yeah, and Carlos Hyde was in the fight too. He didn't get suspended. No one else got suspended. They all got fined. So make sure you get Mike Evans out of your lineup this week. Chris Goodwin is supposed to come in and make up for his absence, but I wouldn't really worry about starting him unless you're in a deep league.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson's fantasy value this week is going to go up.
Yeah, Adam Humphrey and Cameron Bright too. And we'll get more into that.
Howard.
Yeah, we'll get more into that with our sit starts, but get Mike Evans out.
Yeah. Number 3, Jameis Winston. He is out for 2 to 4 weeks because of a shoulder injury. He injured it against the No, not the Cardinals.
Whoever they played last week.
Yeah, whoever.
Last week is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ryan Fitzpatrick will be starting this week. Winston is going to probably be out. They said indefinitely. That means at least 2 weeks and maybe more.
Yeah. Number 4, Teddy Bridgewater is back to practice. He should be playing in a few weeks, if not this week.
Yeah, there's talk about he may suit up. He's going to suit up for this week. He may get some snaps. I probably would say no, just because it's his first game back, but definitely he will be ready to go next week. So if you
keep him for your playoffs.
Keep him for playoffs because Teddy Bridgewater is amazing. I thought he was going to have a great year this year. I was kind of hoping to draft him this year until he got hurt last year. I think he's going to be amazing next year, though. Number 5, 2 big names not going to be starting this week is Matt Forte. He is out with a knee injury. And Chris Hogan is also out. So get them out of your rosters. You don't even have to worry about them for game time decisions. They are not playing. However, C.J. Anderson, Des Bryant, and Devontae Freeman are all going to play this week. So get them in your lineups.
Yeah, it seems like going back to the Chris Hogan injury, it seems like everyone on the Patriots is getting injured this year, and yet they're still number 1 in the East.
Yeah, they are a lot of injuries on that team every year. Even Gronk gets hurt here and there, banged up, misses a couple games. Speaking of getting banged up, Richard Sherman, cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks, Eli, he's out for the season with Achilles tendon injury. That stinks for that defense. There's a great defense, so they would definitely be feeling that one come the playoff time.
Yeah, he's like the glue that holds the defense together.
Yeah, we were watching the game Thursday night. They have their other cornerback there. Earl Thomas was sitting out. So
they got their big name cornerbacks out.
Yeah, Thomas is supposed to be back though, but if he's already missed 2 weeks in a row, so hopefully he can get back in time to get that playoff run going for Seattle.
Yeah.
Our stat for this week, I found it on Twitter, and I want to thank ESPN Stats for it. I want to give them some credit. Eli, speaking about injuries, this year has been hammered with injuries, and this is what I found. 72. 72 is your stat, Eli. That's 72 Pro Bowler appearances are out this year. That's amazing. You can field a whole roster with all these players that are gone for the year. Some of those names are Aaron Rodgers, obviously. David Johnson. OBJ is out for the year.
J.J. Watt. You got
now
more guys.
Yeah, now we just mentioned him. Richard Sherman. Joe Thomas is out. Greg Olsen. He's coming back, though, but still, that's huge.
Julian Edelman.
Eric Berry, safety.
Halati Nagata.
Cliff Avery, but there's a ton of guys
Dante Hightower.
Yeah, and that's just such a shame, Eli, because I have never seen so many big name players out in 1 year. Usually at 1 to 2, 3 maybe, but not 22 plus. Almost 30 players, Eli.
Yeah, and they're all recognizable. There may be 2 guys, and they were on defense that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the O linemen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a huge year for getting hammers, for getting injured. I mean,
that's why they're trying to work on concussion preventing helmets.
Yeah, that and getting rid of that Thursday night game because it just I think it's pointless. I like it, because it gives you another night of football, but it's bad for the players because you're only getting like 3 to 4 days of rest, and they
Especially if they have a Monday night game.
Yeah, it's only happened once, so I don't think they try to schedule that. But
okay.
still, either way, even if you have a Sunday night game, game.
Yeah.
So yeah, 72 Pro Bowl appearances are out the rest of the year. So let's get into our last number 9 is our drafting sleepers. Oh, I actually forgot to mention Jeremy Hill for the Cincinnati Bengals is on the IR also. So there's another name. Granted, he's not really doing anything, but he's going to be done for this season. So Jeremy Hill is out, so you can go ahead and drop him too.
Yeah,
right,
I would have dropped him before that.
About 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right, so our draftingsleepers.com questions come tonight from Pizza Pete. Eli, he wants to know, with Matt Forte out this week against the Buccaneers, are you going to start McGuire?
Not really. I mean, Powell is the starter there. McGuire hasn't really gotten a lot lately. I'd say no.
Yeah, unless you need that bye week filler for a deep maybe 2 flex team, probably not. I'd stay with Powell. Without knowing the rest of your team, I can't really tell you who not to start or who to start over him.
Yeah, that Tampa Bay matchup though is tempting.
Yeah, it is definitely tempting, but unless you have someone a little bit better, I'd say probably no. Our NYK94 Eli wants to know, he got this trade offer. He is trading Stephon Diggs for Jarvis Landry, full point PPR. So he's going to get Landry for Diggs. Would you take Landry for Stephon Diggs?
No, I wouldn't. Diggs, I mean, the reason why is because Diggs has the better quarterback. Sam Bradford is coming back.
They put Sam Bradford on the IR.
Or not Sam Bradford, but
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, and that's why they put him on the IR. That was also breaking. A couple days ago.
And Jay Cutler and Matt Moore are both just so untrustable.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd stay with Stephon Diggs also. So NYK94, stay with Steph Diggs. Don't make that trade.
And our third question from Juice is Loose. He has already made a question once, so thanks for asking questions.
Yeah, he wants to know, would you bench Jordy Nelson this week and maybe for the rest of the season?
I think I would trade him for the name. I mean, if you have to start him just to finish off this week of buys, then I would. But after this week, I think he should be traded off his name.
Yeah, I agree with that. You really can't bench Jordy Nelson. You're not going to bench that name. I know they got that the new quarterback in there, and actually the thing about benching that quarterback for the third string quarterback this week. But yeah, you're not benching Jordy Nelson, and as Eli was saying, if you can try to trade him for anyone, maybe dump him. You know, we did a couple weeks ago before the Aaron Rodgers injury. So if you can go ahead and trade him. But you got to start him if you can't, just because it's Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for our draft and sleepers questions and our 9s, presented by PristineAuction.com and DraftandSleepers.com. Guys, thank you again for our questions from The Juice is Loose, Pizza Pete, and NYK94. Guys, continue to ask these questions on DraftandSleepers.com to help our podcast. Thank you, guys. Eli, let's get into our sit starts. And before we do that, why don't you tell us who's on bye this week?
The byes are Kansas City Chiefs, Oakland Raiders, Philadelphia Eagles, and Baltimore Ravens.
So get them out of your lineups. That's a huge teams right there. I mean, Alex Smith, Kareem Hunt, Carr, Cooper, Crabtree, Lynch, Wentz, Ertz. I mean, that's a lot of big names out there.
Except for Baltimore. They're just off to the side.
Yeah, that defense is pretty good. So
that is true.
But obviously get those guys out of your lineup. So let's go ahead and look at the sit starts for the New Orleans Saints versus the Buffalo Bills. Eli, you're going to start Drew Brees.
Definitely.
Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thompson, Ted Ginn. For sure. All those guys.
All of those guys.
Yep. Buffalo Bills, Tyrod Taylor.
Yes.
LaShawn McCoy, definitely.
Yeah.
Calvin Benjamin.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's there for Buffalo. He's
playing New Orleans secondary. Not very good.
Yep. The big question is, are they going to have that chemistry between Tyrod and Calvin? But Calvin's so tall that you can just throw it up and he'll jump up and catch it.
Yeah.
And then Zay Jones is injured, so you're not going to start him. There's talk about Charles Clay coming back this week, but I would give him one more week before you play him.
I wouldn't start Nick O'Leary just because he might be coming back and he might take snaps away.
Exactly. So, yeah, so don't rely on any of those tight ends this week, even though they are in Buffalo. And with that, though, because they're in Buffalo, it's supposed to be in the mid-30s to high 20s, so it's definitely going to be a running game. So get Kamar, Ingram, and McCoy, and even maybe Mike Tolbert in a deeper league. Eli, who are you going to start for Green Bay Packers this week?
Maybe, no, not Brett Hundley, but I'm going to start...
Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, Jordy Nelson, if you have to.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Martellus Bennett signed with the Patriots.
Yeah, they cut him, and they signed... Yeah, you're right, he got signed by the Patriots, so you're not obviously going to start him.
Right now, at least. We might get
Ty Montgomery, or T.Y. Montgomery. I call him T.Y. T.Y. Montgomery.
Yeah.
And then Adam Jones.
Yeah, probably.
That's a tough decision there because Montgomery now is the third down back and receiving back, and they're saying Adam Jones is the first and second down back. So go ahead and start both of them. Chicago, I'd start that defense this week against the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers. And then probably just Jordan Howard. You're going to start for Chicago, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, you're not going to start anyone. I guess maybe Crow if you had to and Duke Johnson, but you're not starting anyone else. Detroit, Eli, you're going to start Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. Buys deep leagues.
Yeah. Amir Abdullah.
Yeah.
Theo Redrick.
Maybe.
Buy deep leagues.
Yeah.
Obviously Marvin Jones and Golden Tate, get him in there. And if you really had to, Eric Ebron, just because Cleveland is the worst team against the tight ends.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would never start Eric Ebron again.
Yeah.
He's horrible.
Yeah. Cincinnati at Tennessee. For Cincinnati, you're gonna start AJ Green, and that's about it. I don't trust any of their running backs.
Yeah, I guess
Jeremy Hill's on the IR. Genovi Bernard is injured, so
he's not doing anything. And if you have to start Joe Mixon, this would be the week to do it because Tennessee's not that great against the run.
And all the running backs are hurt and or not.
Yeah, and you got the bye week still, and possibly Andy Dalton too because the bye weeks. Tennessee, Marcus Mariota, Corey Davis, Delaney Walker, and DeMarco Murray is about it.
Maybe Derrick Henry against
No, they got a pretty good run defense there in Cincinnati. Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts. The only one for the Indianapolis Colts I would start is Ty Hilton.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton.
Ty Hilton.
Sure.
And that's about it. Maybe in a 2-quarterback league, Jacoby Brissett, he is starting to get hot a little bit. He's had back-to-back 2-touchdown games. So definitely keep him on your radar if you're going into that playoff hunt, if you're stream quarterbacks. The Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously all the Bs, Bell, Brown, Ben.
Beckham.
Big
Not
Ben.
Beckham.
Bryant.
Yeah, Bryant.
Yeah, they say he's going to start this week or play this week. So Big Ben, Bell, Brown, Juju. Got to get Juju in there.
Yeah, Juju's off the injury.
Boswell?
Yeah, definitely. Start that defense against the Colts.
Crush that defense. They're going to get at least, I'm going to say 2 picks and maybe a pick 6.
Maybe a fumble, too.
Yeah.
They'll get definitely a couple sacks.
Yeah, New York Jets, you're going to start Powell if you have to.
And
Anderson, the wide receiver there, just because he'll get some PPR points for you against Tampa Bay. And what about
Josh McNown? Yeah,
for
bye
sure.
week.
Yep, he's
deep leagues.
Yeah, he's tearing up. He's getting your 15-plus points every week. You got to stay with him.
That's solid. I mean, it's not really what you want from a quarterback, but you don't usually expect that from Josh McNown.
Yeah, he's staying consistent and steady, and he'll get you some points. Tampa Bay, you're going to start Deshaun Jackson, as we said earlier, Cameron Brate, and O.J. Howard for sure. Doug Martin, if you have to, he did not show up at all last week, Eli.
Yeah, he's been slowing down.
Yeah, so maybe even get some Jaquez Rodgers in there for deeper leagues.
Yeah, deep league buys.
And then I would even maybe start that New York Jets defense against Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Minnesota at Washington. Minnesota, you're going to start not any of their quarterbacks just because it might be Case Keenum or it might be Teddy Bridgewater.
Yep, Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah.
Steph Diggs, Adam
maybe
Thielen.
Adam Thielen. I might go Latavius Murray. I mean,
And Jared McKinnon. Yep.
yeah, because they're not sure which quarterback is going to play. So
Yep.
I'd start Jerick
Get
McKinnon and Latavius Murray.
get that running game going for them. Washington Redskins, Kirk Cousins, and probably that's about it. Let's talk about Jordan Reed coming back and Vernon Davis. So who knows what's going on with them? None of the wide receivers are healthy enough for me to start. And who knows what's going on in that backfield with Samaje Perine. Chris Thompson did not show up last week. And Rob Kelly is, who knows what's going on there.
Yeah.
So no one in for Washington, maybe other than just Kirk Cousins this week.
Yeah. Los Angeles Chargers at Jacksonville. Los Angeles, you might want to start Phillip Rivers. Keenan Allen, you're going to start Melvin Gordon.
Hunter Henry this week.
Hunter Henry.
Yep.
Antonio Gates isn't playing. He's not.
He's done.
Yeah. For Jacksonville, you might want to start Los Angeles defense. They'll get some sacks.
Yeah, look at the sacks because they don't throw the ball enough in Jacksonville, but you definitely want to get that defense going. Leonard Fournette, you're gonna start because he's actually scored a touchdown in every game he's played this year. Blake Bortles, maybe because of garbage time or last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, they're gonna have to throw the ball a lot. And Allen Hurns, that's about it. That's about it. Houston.
Start that Jacksonville defense,
yeah, for sure. Awesome.
It's going to be like a 14-7 game.
Yeah, they'll definitely get you about 15-plus points every week. Houston Texans, you're not starting anyone other than Lamar Miller and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Now that Tom Savage is the quarterback, everyone's going down. Will Fuller's not doing anything. C.J. Fedorowicz is coming back, so you may want to get him in your lineups because Tom Savage likes the tight end. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Rams, the surprise team of the year so far, Eli.
Same with the Eagles.
Yeah, well, the Eagles are good, but the Rams are just coming out of nowhere. You want to start Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Sammy Watkins this week,
Robert
Woods, and Cooper Kupp. Get them all in there. Get everyone from the Los Angeles Rams in there. They scored 52 points last week. I'm pretty sure they may do it again this week.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They're playing Houston. They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, so the defense is going to be on that field a lot.
And that was at MetLife when they scored 52 points. They're going to be in Los Angeles.
Yeah, they scored that against the Jets, though, right? Was that against the Jets?
No, Giants.
Yeah, that's right. It was the Giants.
Yep.
All right, Dallas Cowboys. You want to get Dak Prescott in there to throw it to Dez Bryant and maybe Jason Witten against Atlanta Falcons. But I wouldn't start any of those running backs until we see what's going on there. And then Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Devontae Freeman.
Yeah.
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
Mohamed Sanu, most likely.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I mean,
maybe Taylor Gabriel deep league buys.
Yeah, he's slowing down. Same with Hooper. They're not doing anything. That Sanu's there. He's not getting the ball as much. The New York Giants, Eli Manning, I'm definitely going to get into this week because of that San Francisco defense is horrible.
I'm cheering for San Francisco.
Yeah.
The Giants, because I want San Francisco to go 0-8 or 0-9.
Well, they're 0-9, yeah, so 0-10. So Giants, you want Eli Manning. Orleans Darkwood's going to run all over that defense. Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram for sure. Deeper leagues, maybe Shane Vereen until they get up to the the 45-0 score, then they'll start running. Yeah. San Francisco, I'm not starting anyone maybe other than Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing in quarterbacks. They have no wide receivers now. Maybe Marquise Goodwin to get some PPR points. But that's about it.
Maybe start the New York defense.
Yeah, if you have
you have to.
That's not a bad.
Like if you have Kansas City on bye or Philadelphia.
Yeah. I mean, if they're sitting out there, that's not a bad start. I mean, that offense is going to tear it up. That San Francisco defense has nothing to provide. So that's not a bad pick, Eli. That's a nice little sleeper pick right there.
New England at Denver. For New England, you're going to start Tom Brady. You're going to start, who's there? Mike Gillislee.
James White.
Maybe
Gronk, definitely.
Brandon Cooks.
And maybe Danny Amendola. But not Chris Hogan.
Yeah, not Chris Hogan.
And Deion Lewis, maybe, a little bit. If you have them. Yeah. I mean, if you have all 6 of those running backs, only start. If you have all the running backs for New England, I would personally start White and Lewis. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Gillislee, but he's been slowing down a lot.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything since week 2. But
And then in week 1, he got like 10 points,
yeah,
if anything.
Denver. I'm only starting C.J. Anderson and Emmanuel Sanders along with Demaryius Thomas. That's about it. No quarterback this week. Brock Osweiler is starting again for some reason. I don't know why. But Monday Night Football, we got Carolina Panthers hosting the Miami Dolphins. I'm not starting anyone from the Dolphins. They have no quarterback. Jay Ajayi is now gone, even though they have Drake and Williams back there in the running backs. I'm not starting them against that Carolina defense. So
yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, Carolina, I'd start Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
And Darren Funchess. That's about it.
Yeah.
Greg Olson's coming back in 2 weeks. I think he can practice next week, and he should be back by week 12 after the bye.
Yeah.
So
start that Carolina defense too.
Oh, definitely, for sure. So that's going to do it for our sit starts of the week. Again, Eli, what are those buys for this week?
Kansas City Chiefs, Oakland Raiders, Philadelphia Eagles, Baltimore Ravens. Get those people out of your lineups because they're going to put a donut
up in your scores. And now that you got to win out, you don't want to be putting those donuts up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our pick'ems. New Orleans Saints versus the Buffalo Bills. Eli, who you got?
This is a tough one. I think New Orleans will win, but it's definitely going to be a close call.
I got the Saints too, only because it's going to be cold and they're going to have to run the ball, and they're going to have two of the top 5 or 6 running backs this year with Ingram and Alvin Kamara running, where they only have one running back in Buffalo. So the Saints, Packers and Bears.
Packers.
I went with the Bears just because of that defense and going against
in Chicago.
Yeah. If it was in Green Bay, I'd pick Green Bay, but I'm gonna go Chicago this week. Browns, Lions. I think we're both gonna say Lions. Bengals, Titans.
Bengals, just because of that defense.
Yeah.
They're doing pretty hot so far. I mean, they turned it on at the half-season point mark.
Oh, and yeah, you actually just convinced me. I was going to pick Tennessee, but now you mentioned that defense again for Cincinnati, I'll go with them. Steelers and Colts.
Steelers, definitely.
Jets and Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
Really?
It's in Tampa, I think.
Yeah.
I think that New York is just going to be sloppy. Yeah, I mean, losing Mike Evans does not help, but I still
think they need to overcome that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with the Jets, though. I think they're playing too good to go down there and lose to a team that's not playing so well. Vikings and Redskins?
Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings also. Chargers and Jacksonville?
I think Chargers.
Ooh. They're gonna beat that defense, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Jacksonville, the only good players they have are on defense and Leonard Fournette. That's pretty much all. They lost Allen Robinson. Julius Thomas isn't. He's just basically a guy.
Julius Thomas is with the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, but whoever
they did lose him. I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the Chargers. Houston Texans against the Los Angeles Rams. Rams. Cowboys and Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons also. I think with Zeke hurt, that loss of Zeke is going to just have the Cowboys in a downward spiral. And the best game of the week, the Giants and 49ers. The Giants.
Giants.
Oh, you picked the Giants, huh? Nice.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, that's right, because you want them to go 0-10.
Yeah, but I still think that New York will win.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's not even the best game because they don't have a quarterback. Patriots and Denver.
Patriots, definitely.
Yeah. However, Tom Brady is horrible. Plays horrible in Denver every time they play in Denver.
Oh yeah, that's true. They lost in a couple years ago the division championship.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think,
the conference championship.
Yeah, but I think the Patriots will pull it out this week.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking over the schedule. I'm trying to pick the game of the week, and it's kind of an ugly week this week. I think that Saints-Bills game may be the game of the week.
Yeah, or Los Angeles-Jacksonville.
The Chargers, Jacksonville, yeah.
Actually, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Dallas-Atlanta. That's the one at 4:30 on
Well,
Fox.
yeah, but I was trying to think of like the toughest game to actually pick, like the best game. I think it would be that Saints Bills.
Yeah,
I mean, everything else
that was hard.
I mean, you got the Packers and Bears. That's going to be ugly. Cleveland, Detroit's going to be ugly.
Probably a
Bengals
blowout.
and Titans aren't playing for anything, so that's going to be ugly. Pittsburgh's going to blow out the Colts. Jets, Buccaneers. That could be close, but it's going to be ugly close.
Yeah, it's going to be like 6-7.
Yeah, Vikings and Washington's not interesting. Chargers and Jacksonville. That'd be Texans and Rams have been great if Watson didn't get hurt. That'd be a great game. That game would be awesome. Cowboys and Falcons. Now that Zeke's out, I don't really. I'm not interested. If Zeke was there, that'd probably be up there.
That will be the game of the week, though.
Yeah, for the TV schedule.
Because New York and San Francisco, that's
ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, they have one win combined.
Yeah.
And then Denver Patriots would be awesome if Denver had a quarterback.
Yeah, like if they had Peyton Manning, then Denver would crush them.
Sure. All right, the Dolphins and the Panthers on Monday night. Again, that's going to be an ugly game. I guess the Panthers will win it.
Yeah, Panthers.
I mean, I guess they'll win it for sure.
Miami doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably be better than Jay Cutler right now, Eli.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so that does it for our pick'ems. Yeah. Maybe next week we'll get a special guest on again next week for our picks, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see who. I don't know. Pick someone. Maybe we'll get Mom on. I don't know. Someone. I don't know. We'll get a special guest on for you guys to have some pick'ems. Eli, you got a fantasy tip this week, or you want to come back to it?
Fantasy tip. I had something.
Right,
just come back.
All right, we'll come back to us.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you can find us on YouTube at the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends to listen and to subscribe, and leave us questions there too if you want. You can email us at the Tyler and Eli FFTips at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at Tyler Belawski. That's TylerBelawske. And on DraftKingsSleepers.com. Again, thank you guys for them and Pristine Auction for sponsoring and teaming up with us this year. And I got a tip for the week for you, Eli. Playoffs are right around the corner, guys. Start looking for that playoff schedule. I mean, the Saints and Buccaneers play twice in 3 weeks. So if you got the Saints, to start stacking up on those Saints players.
Yeah, definitely.
Just keep an eye on that schedule, because now is the time to start buckling down and winning out. And if you have the lead, just start stacking up on some of those players to keep other teams away. Like I think it was last year, we made the playoffs, and we had a lot of bench players that we didn't need anymore, so we dumped them and picked up a lot of couple quarterbacks that people had needed to pick up. So
tight ends, we picked up backup tight ends because at the time Gronk was out, Eric Ebron was out.
Yep. So we had that. We kind of played a little defense there, and did a little maneuvering of some players every week just to play some defense so we could win. So yeah, keep an eye on those schedules. Keep an eye on those free agent pickups.
My tip of the week was pretty much what you just said. The schedules at the end of the year, especially with the NFC South, they can get that usually every year NFC South is chaos at the end of the year. Like they play one game, they each play each other. 2 teams play each other once in like the first 11 weeks, and then at the last 6 weeks, you play the rest of the teams.
Yeah. Yep. So that's going to do it. Eli, got any final thoughts on Week 10?
Week 10, it's getting close to the end of the season. I mean, you gotta, like we said earlier, if you're in the top 3, you can start dropping your guys and shielding some guys.
Ooh, I like that shielding. That's nice.
And if someone else has Zeke, then pick up Alfred Morris or someone like that.
Yeah. Yep. My final thought is, Eli, this is the last year we made it to Week 7 because of some injuries to us and some personal things. So Week 10 is our farthest we've gone so far. So that's pretty cool.
We're planning to go to the end of the season.
We're going to the Super Bowl, baby. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much for listening to our podcast every week. sharing it on YouTube and sharing it on Twitter. We could not do it without you guys. Thank you so much. And we also want to say a special thank you to all the armed forces servicemen and women out there. Thank you for defending our country, and thank you for our Veterans Day today. We just thank you guys so much, and for everything you guys do for this country. Yeah, we have some friends and family that used to serve or are still serving now. So, guys, thank you so much for that. Yeah. I think it's going to do it for the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast, Season 2, Episode 17.
Week 10.
That's going to do it. I'm your host, Tyler Belosky.
I'm your co-host, Eli Belosky.
See you guys next week.
See ya.